As you may know, June 5th is the widely celebrated World Environment Day. But before we get into that, let's take a step back and look at why our environment is so important to us. Earth and nature provides us the foundation that we require to sustain ourselves, from food to shelter. Just like everything else in the universe, nature too has a balance, and when this balance is tipped, everything will be done to restore it, even if it means risking the existence of the human race as we know it. The world is currently at a standstill due to the terrible pandemic brought about by the coronavirus. So much death, and the economy is taking a downturn. However, one major silver lining can be noticed amidst all of this. Have any idea what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the drastically reduced pollution levels, the wildlife finally emerging and returning to places they haven't been seen in for decades. However, they have long been there, unseen on the fringes, searching for a place in the territory that they have lost. Perhaps the only difference now is that the world has become still enough to pay attention. So every year, World Environment Day has a unique and insightful theme. This year's theme is Time for Nature, with its focus on nature's role on human infrastructure and its significance in our lives. This is quite a broad topic, so it has been boiled down to one complicated yet unfathomably important concept: biodiversity, and how we can help nature heal by rewilding the earth. Biodiversity, in essence, simply means variety of life, be it animal life, plant life, bacteria. But why is this variety so important? And what is its role in the ecological balance? In some environments, taking away a single important component can cause the entire system to fall apart. For example, coral reefs. They provide key microhabitats, shelter, and breeding grounds for thousands of species. These organisms depend majorly on the corals for survival. But destructive fishing practices, pollution, and changes in the ocean's acidity is vastly detrimental on these delicate reefs and greatly affects entire ecosystems. Which brings me to the next point: climate change, a rapidly expanding problem that the entire Earth faces at the moment. Rewilding the Earth, that is, encouraging biodiversity, can greatly help climate change. But, in contrast, climate change destroys biodiversity and ecosystems. The reefs aid in the maintenance of the atmosphere, along with the tons of oxygen that is replenished by rainforests and mangroves. It is important to bring back these ecosystems to maintain the ecological balance that is so greatly tipped at the moment. Deforestation and pollution are the biggest contributors to the destruction of ecosystems and must be curbed as much as possible. So let's look at how ecosystems help the human race. Coral reefs. They protect coastlines from the damaging effects of wave action and tropical storms. They also assist in carbon and nitrogen fixing and help in nutrient cycling. In addition to its contributions to nature, it is also a source of food and revenue in tourism, as the Great Barrier Reef generates more than $1.5 billion every year for the Australian economy. And the list goes on. So you must be wondering, how does rewilding help? Let's take the case of the reintroduction of wolves into Yellowstone Park. It brought about the most remarkable effects. The vegetation started to regenerate as the number of deer were maintained, and the heights of the trees quintupled. Birds began to move in, and with them beavers and other river animals. The wolves killed coyotes, so the number of mice and rabbits increased. It was a marvelous change seen just by simply introducing one species, the wolf. This proves that we can only achieve ecological balance when the native species that have gone missing are restored. So to summarize, the maintenance of biodiversity is important not only as a bounty of resources for humans, but also for the healing of nature and bringing Earth back to even just a fraction of its former glory. Every species is significant in the intertwined web of an ecosystem, and this biodiversity can save our planet. As we have seen due to the lockdowns across countries, the reduction in human movement and pollution is causing marine life to emerge in the canals of Venice, the water in lakes and rivers are becoming more fit for consumption, and the number of migratory birds has far increased. If all of this can occur in just a span of months, imagine the impact it would have if we persisted for longer. Let's open our eyes and unite to conserve, preserve, and protect our planet.